Ever wondered what it's like in a sports biomechanics lab? Me too. Hi, my name's Rainey. I'm the student social media vlogger for University of Idaho. I'm a double major in business marketing and music performance. I play the bassoon in orchestra and the cymbals in marching band. I'm not a physician, and I have zero experience in movement sciences. Back in March, I toured U of I's ISMAL lab, also known as Integrated Sports Medicine Movement Analysis Lab for short. Associate Professor Joshua Bailey leads the lab, and his students gave me a tour. When the lab heard I was a musician, they had me bring my bassoon in. Why? To study how being a musician affects the whole body. They then put me through a gauntlet of tests to show me how they use the lab. I brought U of I's video team with me. It was a little strange. They did shave my leg, that was weird. And a ton of fun. Here's how it went. There's a small rumor going around that they might be putting probes or some sort of like electro thingies on me while I play the bassoon. Anyways, it looks like we're here. Everyone in there is really intimidating. They have so much energy.
Whoa, this is cool!
Locked and loaded.
Totally ready for this.
Yeah, here we go.
Hi, my name's Rainey.
What's up, Rainey? I'm Jared.
I'm Mackenzie. I'm Malia.
And I'm Rafe.
First, we gotta get you changed.
Yeah, so we've got a couple options for you. You can pick.
Oh my God. Oh God.
He comes back in, we'll say, hey, have him choose which bike, tell him why he's warming up, and then we go from there. Cool.
Oh God. This is great. I feel like a test subject, and this is great.
You don't need to warm up for that long. If you want to do like a minute, that's probably fine.
Okay.
And then after that, we're gonna put these little, if you look over your left shoulder, these little reflective stickers just on bony parts. Like they're markers, so they get picked up by these cameras that are in a little circle back here. And then we can track how you're moving when you do exercises and things like that. So it's just this little tiny sensor, and it picks up the electrical signals in your muscles. So we're just gonna put it in one spot.
Big muscle groups. We're just gonna do one today, but usually we'll do it on like quads, hammies, your lats, your middle, your back, and your glutes. Okay. Today we're just gonna do your leg though. You're in luck.
This was definitely not how I thought my Saturday was gonna go.
All right, so Rainey, you play bassoon?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what that looks like, but just heard some marching band kind of thing. So.
No, but yes.
All right, but do you move when you play it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So basically, what this is gonna tell us is like when you're marching, right? You're using your quads quite a bit, and so that's why we're putting it on your quad.
Oh, I don't really move my legs while playing.
Come on, you gotta help me out a little bit.
Okay, but yeah.
Okay, so this sensor, this basically tells us muscle activation.
Okay.
And the level of it and duration of it. So look at that graph right there. I'm gonna put this on your leg.
Oh,
okay, wait, hold up. Just gonna zoom out. Okay, now stick your foot out.
Oh, okay, that's so cool.
Mm-hmm. And so like if you stick it out against resistance, do it again. So since you're pushing harder, it's bigger spikes. We push it a little bit, smaller spikes.
Okay.
I'm an ROTC cadet, and so I've been looking at all the ways that ROTC cadets move, and then we're trying to track that with injury. That part has been kind of slow moving so far, but we're trying to see like as they progress throughout the program, are they improving in the way that they move, or are they getting worse? Are they getting stronger or weaker, or are they getting injured or less injured? And then we can build these injury profiles that will long-term help us like make people not get hurt as often. And I use the motion capture stuff that you're about to do, and the chair over there, the Isokinetic Dynamometer, which is a big word for an evil chair. If you come stand over here, we're just going to put all these little tiny stickers.
So this is basically how we map your skeletal system, and the cameras capture it in space. Sometimes, like some football players, they're injured or they want to look at their like muscle imbalances, like just right side is so much stronger than left or vice versa. That's what we use the dyno for a lot, that evil chair.
Why is it evil?
You'll see.
You'll see.
You'll see. Yeah, so we'll have you stand out here and just stare at us. And then this is how we get like the baseline of where everything is.
A little further down.
Okay.
Beautiful.
If you want to come look, this is you. This is.
I've never looked better. That's so cute.
So we're gonna have you do like 3 different exercises. We'll just start with the first one. We'll just do some lunges. Yep. So when you're like down there and pushing back up, we're looking at your activation of your quad and how much it's firing and how strong and like when. And then whatever Mackenzie tells you.
Okay.
Jumps are a really good way to look at power because it's force and time.
Yeah.
And so the more force over the less time is the best power.
Is that?
Yeah,
Is that what it
that's
is?
it.
Okay.
Now you can do one like single leg on each one. Perfect.
I didn't have the balance for that. They're currently bringing out treadmills. I don't know what's going on behind me.
So for our next test, we're gonna measure your heart rate and your oxygen, your metabolic output.
Okay.
So you wanna put this on. It needs to go under your tank top because it needs to touch your skin because it only senses when it's wet.
Okay.
So we need you to sweat.
My bassoon was made in 1922.
Okay, that can come off. Let's take it off.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna take you over to metabolic.
That's like the metal crashy things. I merge with those. Not. This is my orchestral instrument.
Okay, well we're still gonna
That's
practice.
okay. Yeah. No, this is great.
We need to wait.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh my
I'll
God.
hold this for you.
I don't know what's happening.
Give me terrified eyes.
So Rainey, what do you like to do for fun?
We're analyzing your oxygen and CO2 output of your breathing, and so your when you talk, it doesn't work the same way. Your outputs are not the same, and we're trying to measure your economy while walking, and we do this commonly in athletes, mostly do it running. So we're doing a study with duathletes and analyzing them on the bike and then putting them on here to analyze both their form and their metabolic output.
Okay, from a scale of 6 to 20, 20 meaning death, 6 meaning you're doing just great. What are we feeling? just nod your head. 8? Period. Okay, so this scale actually is like an indicator of your heart rate. So you would multiply it by 10 and that's about how much your heart rate should be.
Straight to me, just talk about what just happened. Was that scary? I was a little scared for you.
It was definitely weird. I wasn't supposed to talk, and that was like the hardest part. Actually, was not talking.
Did you feel a little bit like you're at the dentist when people were asking you questions while you were in a state where you couldn't talk?
Definitely. Okay, where am I going next?
That chair.
That.
The evil chair?
Okay, the evil chair.
My name's Levi Collette. I'm a senior exercise science major at U of I.
My name's Rainey.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for joining us.
You're gonna come over here, take a seat in the chair. Good question. This machine's gonna test your strength at different speeds, basically, okay? So the first speed will be no movement. You're not gonna move. You're gonna push on the pad as hard as you can, but it's not gonna budge. So we're gonna see the most force you can produce. This is mostly, we use this a lot with ROTC and athletic populations, looking at the asymmetries between legs. So we wanna see, you know, for example, if a football player is coming back from a torn ACL, we'd want to see their injured leg get back to close to the same strength as their non-injured leg, right? So if there's still a massive imbalance, they're not ready to return to sport. Being in this lab is a great opportunity to look at the scientific side of sports and of performance.
Once we bring your leg down and your leg hits the bottom, that graph's gonna pop up, and we want you to push as hard as you can into this. It's not gonna move. No matter how hard you push, it's not gonna move, but we want you to push as hard as you can, and that's gonna show us your like maximum motor units are activated, so you have the most force because you have the less speed, like Levi was talking about earlier, your force time curve. Yep, okay. So as long as you bring your leg to the bottom, graph pops up, just go for it. Just push as hard as you can.
First two are practice reps, so you don't have to go all out on the
Yeah.
first two. You can kind of just get a feel for what it's gonna be like.
Okay.
Yep.
And breathe.
There we go.
Don't grab onto it.
A lot of people forget to breathe. Don't forget to breathe.
Okay.
Okay. All right. On you.
Yep.
Push, 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 push.
Push, ready, come on, push! Relax, relax.
You're good. You're good. All right. And then I'll.
Aggressive for the practice. I'm scared.
And so now once you bring it down and you push into it, this is moving at a fixed speed. It's not gonna move any faster or slower based on how hard you push, but we want you to push as hard as you can so that we can kind of create your own force time curve. All right, pull back, practice, push, 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 yeah, pull, then pull, yeah, push, 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 pull, push, push, pull, harder, go, relax. There you go. Money, that's money.
So what's the yelling, is that standard for
Well, Josh yells at us, so this is just us coping.
this is a coping mechanism, okay.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get you to like produce the most force you can, so we got to get you fired up.
So it does like help with like
Yeah,
standard.
unless you're psychology, you're not just sitting there just like.
If it was just like dead silence in here, you wouldn't be doing anything.
Yeah, because we're on your team when it comes to this. We want you to do really well, or your best, the best your body can do, and that's just another way to help do that. Relax.
Okay.
Hey, good job, man.
Okay.
Good job. You know, Clint.
I don't know. I feel like I just took a trip to a really weird Disney World. That was a great ride.
All right,
Okay.
hop up.
Do you want me to just rip it off?
Just rip it off. Okay. It's a little cold.
All right, so what you see is tissue of sorts.
I feel like we go more proximal. There you go. Cool.
Is it a girl or a boy?
So this is the muscle that you were just looking at your activation when you were going through all the exercises. And you look for the connectivity and all of that jazz.
Is that like that line right there? Is that what the, is that the separation between?
Yeah, so if you look, oh no, I keep moving.
So some people have smaller cross-section areas that produce more force. Some people have more cross-section areas that produce less force. So the effort that you were giving over there may not transfer directly to all of those.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, I'll just wipe
Josh
this
has been
off.
excited about it.
Rainey, we'll come this way. First off, we got this eye right here. It's from the old basketball court. So it's like, of course, UVI, it's cool and whatnot, but it also has a little bit of history on it. If you look around on the walls everywhere, you see a bunch of posters. These are just past posters that we've brought to various conferences and whatnot. This here is a jersey from Kristen Armstrong. She's actually a graduate of our program.
Oh, cool. What do you guys appreciate about having this space available to you?
Yeah, well, I just appreciate getting to be with other students that have similar interests and getting to explore different topics, you know, and getting to use all this cool equipment to answer some of those questions relating to performance and exercise science.
I like the lax vibes it has. I like to enter, know that we're going to do a study and also enjoy it.
What do you appreciate about this lab, and how is that setting you up for the future going outside of your education?
I think that the community, this lab is great that you can walk in anytime and either like being for data collection or process, but there's always going to be someone here and it's going to be entertaining and you never know what you're going to get.
How does this lab help prepare you for the next step?
It's still like I'm going into chiropractic, so being in this biomechanics lab and looking at research, that's a big deal going into that, and I want to get into a muscle physiology and human performance lab there while I'm going to grad school. And so just having the mindset of challenging ideas and based on the idea itself, not based on what's being said, who's saying it. I think that's the biggest thing you can take.
Well, thank you so much for sharing about your research and what this space is about. I need to grab my bassoon and I think I'm headed out.
All right, thanks for coming in.
Your chariot awaits.
My chariot awaits, okay.
It's like if running and riding a bike had a baby.
Put that foot up, push off, and then bring your other foot in and start pedaling.
Watch it.
Watch your head.
Okay. This is scary. Am I gonna?
Bye, Rainey.
Oh God, no! Okay.
Bye, Rainey.
Oh God, this is terrifying. I've never been treated like a science project before, so it was super fun getting put in that chair and then having me walk on the treadmill with the like CO2 tracker, I think that's what it was. And then them putting all the probes on me, and it was like I don't remember what it was called, but shaving my leg and putting the little muscle activity tracker, that was so fun. Anyways, I've got to go get lunch. So as always, like, subscribe, V's up, and go Vandals.